In the middle of the night, Su Ling stood there with a face full of blood and wounds. I am Su Ling. His breathing was rapid, his eyes were determined. Even though he was exhausted, even though his body was weak, his will had not wavered once. It was not difficult to see. The little rabbit lay at his feet. Its body was full of injuries and emitted a weak electric current. Its long ears drooped, blood staining the ground. Even though it had no strength left, it still tried to stretch as if it wanted to stand up. He knelt down beside the small beast. Before his eyes were giant beasts with extremely terrifying shapes. It transmigrated. Maybe one of the worst cases as well. His bleeding hand trembled as he reached for the broken piece of horn on the ground. He clenched the broken piece of horn in his hand. His eyes flashed with pain and anger, and the little beast shot out electric currents in all directions. I just arrived. The giant beasts simultaneously charged at Su Ping. Su Ping and the little beast both fearlessly charged forward to fight them. Flashback to a few days ago, Su Ping opened her eyes dreamily when I just woke up from a dream. He held the mirror and was shocked to realize I find out that I transmigrated. The screen showed his identity, electronic identification card, Su Ping male. 18 years old Longjiang City citizen, just like any other transmigrated person. He sat in front of a modern computer, one hand on his chin. I have a new identity in this world. A beautiful planet appeared in the middle of the galaxy, which was where Su Ping transmigrated to. This was a world very similar to Earth. A ship is traveling in the vast universe. It's just that the extremely advanced technology has already entered the interplanetary age. This planet has a brilliant civilization. The technology here is far superior to Earth's, but technology is only supplementary. Astral pets are the most important existence here. A man holding a protective mask. Next to him is a mechanical bird called an astral pet. It is constantly emitting electric currents. The rich species of astral pets are closely related to human society. Astral pets are in charge of various aspects of work life. The map is filled with small red flags and stacks of gold coins symbolizing resources. A sword is drawn straight down the center of the map as a fierce declaration of reclamation and war. A muscular man stands tall in front of a giant, sharp and fierce green armored dragon, trained and controlled by the astral trainer. In front of the powerful flag with the majestic golden symbol, a group of people in black suits stood solemnly with cold and determined eyes. Leading the way was a man in a striking white suit. His sharp eyes seemed to hold in his hands the fate of the whole world and even the status of each country. A stern man was shouting loudly, his hand raised high to command. Stop. The other man sat upright and signed important papers. It showed that this world was also decided by the strength of the astral pets. It also meant that this was a world decided by the battle of the astral pets. At this moment in Su Ping's apartment, with a determined look in his eyes, he spoke as if to encourage himself. If the strong are kings in this world, I must also become stronger. Standing in the middle of the room, he pondered and also understood that to become stronger, I must carefully plan each step for my own journey. First, I must clearly understand my current situation. From now on, I will be Su Ping. Su Ping's things will be my things. Origin is very important. Thinking. So he resolutely opened the door and walked out of the room. As soon as the door opened, what caught his eyes was the original owner's cute younger sister. She looked at him and said with an extremely surprised expression. The voice of the younger sister she had just met was somewhat mocking. Isn't this the lazy pig? Su Ping. You woke up early again today. The sun really rises in the west. Ling glanced at the family photo placed on the original owner's table, then looked at the younger sister standing at the door. Is this the original owner's younger sister? She's quite cute. Suddenly he saw something shiny pinned on the little girl's shirt over there. What is this silver metal? Before he could ask, a punch landed on his stomach. It was the original owner's younger sister who misunderstood that he was looking at something he shouldn't be looking at. Why do you keep looking at my chest? What bad intentions do you have? No misunderstanding. With just one punch, Su Ping thought she was about to log out. Is she a buffalo? How can she have so much strength? The younger sister lifted her chin arrogantly. I'm already an astral trainer. The first year, astral trainer of Fengshan Academy. Su Pingjai, don't even dream of playing dirty tricks. At this moment, Su Ping realized that the relationship between the original owner and her younger sister seemed to be very bad. He struggled to get up from the ground, still not understanding why this girl had such a bad attitude towards him. I'm your real brother. What bad things did I do to you? He secretly thought to himself, could it be that the original owner was the image of a bad brother? As soon as she heard Su Ping's question, her younger sister's eyes flashed with a cold light. So has my brother forgotten all the bad things he did before? Then she listed out each bad thing the original owner had done, like catching worms and putting them in my bag, stealing my snacks, putting glue on the toilet lid, changing toothpaste to mustard, hiding my shoes, not letting me go out. Hearing this, Su Ping secretly exclaimed, "What kind of despicable character design is this?" After saying that, the girl over there scolded him again. In short, I came to tell you to come take care of the pet shop. Your customers called me to cause trouble today. You have to settle this, she shouted, or else you're dead. Then she slammed the door, leaving Su Ping alone in his room. Ling was surprised because he had just heard something useful from the mouth of that cute little sister. I thought the original owner was a useless guy with nothing. I didn't expect that he has a whole store. This is starting to be useful. He thought to himself and grinned. It seemed like his journey to becoming a strong man had gotten a little easier. Somewhere mechanical words that sounded like instructions from some kind of device could be heard. Welcome to the prosperous city of Longjiang. In the city center with the skyscrapers in the distance is the suburbs with the magical rivers and hills. The mechanical voice rang out once more. Please go straight at the intersection ahead. Below the avenue were thousands of people with their own astral pets and various levels of power. The voice seemed to be some kind of guidance system. Turn left at the next intersection. When Su Ping stood in front of an old house, the sound of new machinery seemed to ring out for the last time. We've arrived. Please give us a 5-star rating. The guide ended. Seeing the spider webs and needles piled up next to the store, Su Ping secretly exclaimed, "It's exactly the same style as the original owner." He reached in to open the door, with the lock fingerprint test successful. He thought, and said to himself, good or bad, it's still a shop. With a little bit of maintenance, it should be able to continue operating. Just a few problems. Su Ping stood in front of the rusty rolling door that was slowly opening, revealing a space inside and iron cages of various sizes. He reached out to support the rolling door and said to himself, that's probably all there is to it, huh? Suddenly a not-so-pleasant scent rushed straight into his nose. What is this? Seeing the scene of the astral pet defecating all over the floor, Su Ping angrily shouted, "Stupid dog, don't defecate in my shop like that." The astral pet looked at his face with dissatisfaction and opened its mouth slightly to exhale. Seeing the provocative expression of the astral pet, Su Ping angrily rolled up her sleeves and charged forward. What, you dare to look down on me? Stupid dog, do you believe that I'll use you as bait tonight? As soon as he finished speaking, a strong force came from behind him. A foot kicked him down hard, almost causing him to fall into the astral pet's filth. The kick made him roll a few times on the ground before he could figure out what was happening. He quickly calmed down and sat up. He angrily shouted at a blue-haired pierced gangster. He was a bit wary. Who is it? The other guy seemed a bit rude. He squinted his eyes and looked down at Su Ping. Did the customer just receive the new one and already forget? I've been waiting here for you for a whole week. Su Ping tilted his head, his cold eyes flashing with suspicion. He silently affirmed, is the enemy. He looked over at the other guy's black astral pet and heard the green-haired guy's impatient voice again. It's been 3 days. Exactly. 3 days. The green-haired man was talking non-stop with an angry expression. He shouted at Su Ping. I left Black Wind to you to raise and take care of. Damn, you locked him up with 10 lions for 3 days. Do you know how cruel they were? Do you know how he had to live these past 3 days? Seeming to have understood the situation, he forced a smile and expressed his intention to take responsibility for the black astral pet. I'm really sorry. I will continue to take care of your pet and not charge you a penny. As he spoke, he silently judged, this original owner is too immoral. The blue-haired guy's face showed anger as he roared, do I look like need your money? The other guy seemed to have lost his patience and ordered his pet go Black Wind. The astral pet Black Panther roared fiercely. It revealed its sharp teeth and emitted a stream of energy around it. At this moment, the blue-haired guy also shouted loudly, show him some manners. The astral Black Panther appeared behind Su Ping with its red eyes. It bared its sharp teeth and raised its claws. He was surprised and his voice was somewhat worried. Hey, what do you want to do? Suddenly the sharp tail of the astral pet pressed against Su Ping's neck. He clenched his teeth, his forehead wrinkled and sweat poured out. He despaired, too fast. This is over. Do people in this world solve problems with violence? Bin secretly expressed his reproach to the original owner. Hateful. Why did the original owner anger this kind of person? If you have something to say it slowly. He tried to ease the situation. Can everyone sit down and discuss it slowly? Okay. Can I compensate you 3 times the amount? The green-haired man narrowed his eyes in disdain. He seemed to not hear what he said. Compensation. How can you compensate me for raising my war beast into a wet bear? The green-haired guy suddenly smiled with satisfaction and said, I got it. I suddenly thought of a great idea. The green-haired man smiled slyly as if he had just thought of something interesting. He said to the black spirit pet, Black Wind, try your new move here. The leopard over there had a ferocious appearance, its eyes glowing in the darkness. It opened its mouth to reveal a glowing blue sphere. The blue-haired guy ordered, blow this shop away, reclaim your majesty. You carry the bloodline of the white dragon Black Fong. Su Ping was scared and stepped back, his voice trembling. Oh my God, save me, save me. Why does this crazy guy have such power? He thought to himself. And why does this black dog have the bloodline of a white dragon? Su Ping opened his eyes wide and raised both hands to his face. It seemed like he couldn't accept the fact that he had just transmigrated and was defeated by this astral pet. He shouted, Fuck. I just arrived and lost everything. As a transmigrator, am I the only one who's like this? Why don't I even have an astral pet? Suddenly, in the deep darkness, a blue lightning bolt shot out with terrible force. The beam of light was surrounded by dense electric rays. That light suddenly fell on Su Ping's body, covering him, causing his face to look somewhat surprised and panicked. At this moment, the astral pet that was about to attack suddenly stopped, as if it was petrified. The green-haired guy who was full of energy just now also stood still. It was as if the beam of light just now was what prevented them from doing anything more. At that moment, when Su Ping was still in shock over what had just happened, a glowing text box suddenly appeared before him. Suitable target found. Start binding contract. As soon as he saw that text frame, Su Ping sneered. It seemed like he understood everything that had just happened to him. His VIP pro system finally, it's my time. This should be the requirements for a transmigrated. Before he could be happy for long, the next line left Su Ping speechless. Start binding with Xiao Tao Chi store. His face suddenly turned pale. His mouth was wide open as if this information was unacceptable. Su Ping shouted loudly, What the hell? Why are you connected to this store? The system binder Su Ping, what is this? At this moment, his entire body was covered with a strange green light. A voice on the screen in front of him said, The bound person of the super god system is in the shop, immune to damage. Right now, any attack is ineffective against you. Su Ping still seemed to not believe what he had just heard. Any attack is ineffective. Isn't that the same as being invincible? Suddenly, his eyes widened, and he looked straight at the system board in front of him. But isn't the binding object this store? The system also added, forgot to say that the shop owner will also be bound. He was a bit speechless with this system. Hey, be more professional. At this moment, the person in front ordered his astral pet to attack towards Su Ping. He pointed straight ahead and said, "Black wind, burn this place down for me." A powerful energy blast from inside the giant beast's throat. Suddenly, a hand grabbed the astral pet's mouth, causing it to panic and tightly grip the energy source in its mouth. The guy with murderous eyes tightly grabbed the mouth of the beast in front of him, making it tremble in fear. "What do you want to do to my shop? Swallow it up." The astral pet now also turned into a docile puppy sitting in a corner, sadly sobbing. Seeing that the dog was lying still, Su Ping turned to ask the man in front of him, "Do you have any questions about the quality of service at this shop, customer?" He was filled with fear. His face was pale, and he thought to himself, how could this person block Black Wind's ultimate move with his hand? Never heard of it before. There is such a master recently. Then he stammered, "No, no." At this moment he approached the man. "If there are no questions, please let Black Fong stay at our shop for a few more days." Su Ping let out a friendly smile. His whole body seemed to radiate the aura of a bodhisattva. "I will definitely take good care of it." Su Ping's attitude immediately turned 180 degrees. The surrounding scenery seemed to appear in the 18th level of hell. "I will definitely take good care of it." The man and the little dog next to him saw that and immediately ran away, with tears streaming down their faces. "We're about to be killed. Run quickly." Su Ping was a bit thoughtful when he saw their attitude. "Why did you run away? Do I look that scary?" A notice board appeared in front of him, catching his attention. "Shop danger check resolved. Reward, one-time shop status cleaning authority. Redeem. Apply." While confirming on the system, he thought to himself, "I didn't expect this system to be so sophisticated." Immediately, the surrounding space changed. A powerful source of energy surged throughout the room. In the blink of an eye, the whole room was clean and fragrant. The furniture was arranged neatly and tidily. He looked down at the shiny floor and could see his face filled with joy. "Is this cleaning? Oh, I love it." A room in the corner made Su Ping a little curious. What is this room? As soon as he opened the door, he saw two animals sleeping soundly inside. He also looked surprised. "So this is an astral pet cage. But why does it feel like the pet in here is smaller than I imagined?" The system panel also displayed a modified message. "This is a pet cage. All pets sent for adoption will have their body shape adjusted to a standard number of seats. 2 per 9, level 1 effectiveness, can provide cultivation effects and some therapy for pets." He pointed at the two beasts and said, "Too powerful. What if that stinky dog wanders around in here?" The system nearby immediately explained, "Host doesn't need to worry. The beasts inside the cage are all in a state of cultivation, so they won't be hungry, thirsty, or defecate." Su Ping raised his hand to stroke his chin and spoke, "These two beasts must be from customer's right system. What should I do to prevent anyone from coming to cause trouble again?" The system immediately announced the mission. "Congratulations to the host for activating the main mission. Please choose a pet and raise it to level 3 or higher. Thunder Mouse, Moon Dog." Looking at the mission before him, a thought popped into his mind. The mission still requires activating an unreliable system. Then he reluctantly operated the system. "Choose the Thunder Mouse. I'm not good with dogs." The mouse's detailed information panel showed Thunder Mouse level 1, elemental type, lightning level 1, combat power skill learned baiting, a very normal beast mainly used as a pet for viewing. Su Ping held the mouse in his hand in amazement. What the hell is baiting? Where is that ray of light? The notice board also begins to explain that, based on the owner's daily training routine, the pet will receive different skills. Then a loading screen appeared. Pet selected, entering the nurturing interface, Thundercloud Sea World. Immediately, a teleportation circle appeared under Su Ping's feet. Made both him and the mouse panic. Both of them, as soon as they entered the gate, panicked and screamed. I fell straight from the sky. With the power just gained from the system, Su Ping could easily land safely. The monkey next to him plunged straight into the ground. He was a little surprised at the sight before him. This place was a breeding ground for a large area with lots of lightning constantly striking the dry old trees. When he got closer and witnessed the majesty of the trees inside the training area, he was a bit surprised and spoke up. "The tree is so big. How big must the people living here be?" A notice also appeared to explain. The Thundercloud Sea Realm is the place where many giant beasts reside. The dense lightning element is suitable for lightning-type astral pets to cultivate. The probability of encountering beasts smaller than 100 meters is high. The probability of encountering beasts 1,000 meters or higher is low. The probability of encountering beasts 10,000 meters or higher is very low. Su Ping grabbed the mouse beside him and squeezed its body. "This village is quite scary. The probability of encountering a beast within 100 meters is very high, but it's not like they're everywhere, right?" Suddenly, a monster with a huge body and sharp teeth and hideous tentacles was wriggling in the air, making him a bit scared. "What the hell?" Immediately, a powerful attack with terrifying destructive power struck straight towards Su Ping, who was standing on this side. "Host is dead." At this moment, he struggled to sit up, his body still shaking as he recalled the scene just now. What the hell was that just now? Am I dead? The system immediately appeared explaining Host was killed by the King Beast 0.73 seconds ago, now in the resurrection space waiting to be revived. Warning: failure to complete this mission on time will lower the host's rating. Leaving the training ground before the deadline will be considered as not completing the mission. When the host's rating is lower than 60 points, he will be killed. He was a bit startled when he saw that information and was scared. "Hello? The system didn't say that when you received the mission. Besides, how many points do I have now?" See this slider, drag it down to see the rewards and punishments of the mission. Unlimited free respawns. Reward for the primary beast appraisal quest, 3 days duration. If the quest fails, the host's points will be reduced. The host's points are too low. There is no authority to check the points. At this time, he could only shout loudly with anger. "Damn system! How dare you play me? How the hell is there a king in the newbie village? Encountering a king beast is a low probability event. The host must find a suitable prey to kill it. In addition, the host's perception ability is too low, so it is recommended to sign a temporary contract with the pet." He really wanted to kill the system right now, but he had to grit his teeth and endure. "Then why don't you hurry up and do it?" Currently reviving. After that, his body and the monkey were gradually regenerated inside the training area. Both of them at this moment simultaneously had a strange mark appear on their foreheads. Successfully linked the emotional consciousness between the host and the Thunder Rat. If there is anything wrong, just adapt. Good luck in your search. The young man sat far away, observing the horse in front of him. He thought to himself, a horse eating grass probably doesn't pose much of a threat. Moreover, being alone is a good opportunity. The mouse next to him seemed to be able to read his thoughts, and it immediately trembled in fear. He turned his eyes towards the beast before him. There is definitely danger ahead. After forming the contract, I can feel the fear of the Thunder Mouse. Suddenly, a giant worm came up from the ground and grabbed the horse that was leisurely grazing there. It actually bit off half of the horse's body. Sure enough, the mouse beside him was now looking angrily in that direction. Su Ping immediately stood up, pointed straight at the monster and shouted, "It doesn't look like it's even 100 meters away. We have a chance to kill it, Thunder Mouse. Use all your strength to bite its neck." Receiving the order, the mouse immediately charged towards the giant worm with angry eyes. But it seemed that determination alone was not enough. With the stiff scales covering its body, the mouse's attack was just a scratch. The mouse immediately fainted. Even the worm wondered when witnessing this scene. The system board immediately appeared. Thunder Mouse died due to head injury, but has acquired a new skill conflict. May I ask if you want to revive it? Revive. Wait for more. Su Bin was a bit thoughtful when witnessing this scene. The Thunder Mouse's fighting power is completely insufficient. Fortunately, it can revive infinitely. No matter how much blood this monster has, I can still torture it bit by bit. Resurrection complete. The number of remaining resurrects is infinite. Immediately, a green light appeared, and the mouse was instantly resurrected. Maintain movement to approach it. Take advantage of its body shape to dodge attacks and always stay close to it. The mouse rushes forward, taking advantage of its speed to perform lightning-fast attacks. As a trainer, he continuously ordered the little mouse. Now is the time. Thunder Mouse, use all your strength. Use the collision to attack the armor area between the back and abdomen. A powerful headbutt was launched from the lightning beast. The huge worm's body could not avoid the force of the attack, causing it to spit out a large amount of blood. Su Ping's face now regained its usual cheerfulness. All right, but that alone cannot defeat that huge monster over there. It put its mouth full of sharp fangs and grabbed the mouse, and so it continues to be reborn once again. Come on, Thunder Mouse. Countless attacks hit the monster's body. Resurrection. 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 Countless deaths and resurrections. The original appearance of the lightning monster had changed. Its claws and horns became sharper. Countless lightning bolts surrounded its body. The system panel also displayed a message due to the rich environment of the lightning element of the light rat. It has been grasped. Most of the lightning element forces can now use lightning to support the conflict. Obtained the conflict level. Skill. Lightning conflict. Su Ping also happily showed his face. The skill has been upgraded so good. The elemental attack should be able to penetrate that beast's armor. Use this move to end the match. Immediately, a stream of lightning energy surrounded the little monster's body. It spun and charged forward, creating a powerful attack that shattered the giant worm's body. It seemed that the mouse's endurance had reached its limit. Its body was covered with wounds, and it was having difficulty breathing. Su Ping, standing on the other side, also spoke up in praise. Thunder Rat did a good job. He secretly thought to himself that he should let it rest and regain its strength for a while before going to find new prey. It seemed that the Thunder Mouse's stamina was only enough for one more lightning clash. Suddenly, the surrounding space shook earthquake. The ground seemed to be under a pressure that caused cracks and rocks to fall everywhere. Then countless large worms from earlier appeared at the same time. Witnessing that scene made our main character panic. There are so many. At this moment, Su Ping was struggling to fend off the powerful attacks from countless giant worms. It seemed like his fighting strength was completely different from theirs. They kept throwing Su Ping's small body back and forth. With his body covered in wounds, he struggled to speak. Damn it! That blow must have broken 5 or 6 bones. An adult is much more formidable than a larva. Do we have to continue this fight? The number of adult giant worms appearing is increasing. He turned his eyes to the little mouse lying on the ground. The Thunder Mouse was also injured, not even slightly, and had not yet recovered its strength from the previous battle. Sure enough, it was better to give up and resist. There were too many enemies. Even if he revived and continued fighting, he wouldn't be able to hold out for long. He had to quickly revive and continue leveling up. That was the best choice. Thinking like that, Su Ping immediately let go of himself and volunteered to offer his body as bait for the monsters over there. The huge worm's mouth, full of sharp fangs, lunged straight at Su Ping and bit him. At this moment, the lightning beast lying on the ground refused to submit and struggled to stand up. Thunder Mouse. As the teeth gradually touched the young man's ivory body, a strong beam of light shot through that place, breaking his tooth. He was also surprised by the mouse's newly acquired power. Can it still use the lightning strike once? Moreover, it can also release attacks based on its own will. Yet with countless wounds on its body, the little monster was still able to continue fighting. His eyes were now more determined than ever. I can feel your will to fight. What about the arc? Just a little experience. You haven't given up yet. Su Ping reached out to take the monster's broken tooth. He directed it straight forward. I can't wait to die. The lightning beast also felt the determination of its trainer. Countless streams of lightning were emitted from its body, ready to attack. What had to happen happened. Countless giant worms rushed straight towards the two of them. Su Ping and his astral pet charged forward with eyes filled with determination. As expected, the two of them were revived in another place that had chosen to revive randomly. At this time, his face was covered in sweat, leaning against a nearby rock, having difficulty breathing. It's strange I clearly revived and was spitting blood, but why am I still so tired? The system also appeared immediately and explained, resurrection will have some mental burden on the host. Currently, the host's mental strength is too low. It's normal for the host to feel tired after reviving many times in a short period of time. While improving combat power, the host should also pay attention to training mental strength. He also slowly realized the problem. So that's it. No matter how good the wheel is, if it's flat, it won't run. It seems like I have to train this body properly. Suddenly he noticed a change in the animal beside him. There was danger nearby when the enemy realized it. The ground shook violently. Su Ping reached out to touch the strange things beside him, thinking to himself, the soil here really isn't the same size as that giant insect. This strange feeling is. At this moment, the lump of earth they were sitting on suddenly raised several legs, but it threw both Su Ping and the others straight to the ground. Before their eyes now was a giant bug less than 10 meters tall. It opened its mouth full of sharp, jagged fangs and spat a disgusting liquid at the two of them. With just his natural reflexes, Su Ping was able to easily dodge it. The liquid left a large crater on the ground. He immediately realized that it was strong acid. The young man over there immediately regained his spirit. Thundermouse, charge with all your might. Let it know your maturity. The system notification sounded then. Congratulations, host, on completing the mission. Some time had passed by now in the training area inside the store. Su Ping looked exhausted and had wounds all over his body, making it difficult for him to breathe. Congratulations, host, on completing the mission. Su Ping and the lightning beast were lying on the monsters, their bodies covered in tatters. It seems that many fierce battles took place. As a result, countless monster corpses were piled up into mountains. A notice board appeared at this time. Upgraded lightning beast skill. Lightning turns into lightning. Lightning beast comprehends lightning shadow. Remnant statue skill. Receives pet appraisal. Elementary skill item. Su Ping was a little surprised by what he saw before his eyes. Lightning afterimage. Has the Thunder Mouse learned one of the 10 legendary lightning techniques? Elite skills are divided into 6 qualities based on combat power. The higher the quality, the greater the power. Among the myriad of skills, there are some that come from ancient times, called the secret technique passed down through generations. These secret techniques have long been lost, and only the gifted geniuses can comprehend them. The Thundercloud Sea Realm possesses a high purity of lightning element. After countless attacks, the Thunder Mouse has activated its potential to learn the ultimate. He smiled happily and said to the system, "So that's it. Take me home quickly." The system panel also gradually disappeared. The nurturing interface closed. The host is about to disconnect from the Thundercloud Sea Realm. The temporary link between the host and the pet is removed. Preparing to return. Immediately, his whole body was covered by the light. The rays of light also gradually disappeared. The referee shouted into the microphone enthusiastically. It's the final selection round of the Astral Pet Team, held once a year at Fengshan Academy in Longjiang City. How many students will be able to win the monthly portion this year? He asked with great enthusiasm in the air. Below was a large square with a phoenix statue symbolizing the lower city, and thousands of fans were watching every moment of the selection. Everyone's face was filled with excitement, looking forward to every minute and second who will be the one to become the Grandmaster's favorite student. The referee's speech was still echoing throughout the vast square. A beautiful girl with red hair stood silently observing from behind. The crowd was eagerly waiting. Who will be the first to join the pioneering team? Will it be Bi Hao or Zhang Shuihan? The referee was still listing off a series of promising names. Or will it be Zhang Xiao? The beautiful red-haired girl lowered her eyes and sighed as if she had something on her mind. The third-year student of the Phoenix Mountain Academy's battle pet, Su Yanying. She was worried and anxious, thinking that it was just a reserve match, so there would be no problem. Why? 2 rounds ago. Su Yanying recalled the previous round when she met Zhang Shuihan. Her astral beast was knocked down by her move, and had no way to fight back. She stood there helplessly listening to the referee announce Zhang Shuihan wins. In the second round, Yan Ying met Ye Haoshi, wondered if she would meet a seed with the potential to win the championship. Yan Ying once again lost to Ye Hao. She sat next to the astral beast that was beaten to a pulp and lying motionless on the floor, listening to the announcement that Ye Hao had won. Lost 2 games in a row. Furthermore, in this final match, she still had to face Zhang Xiaoyan. Ying stood still in her own thoughts. She knew that Zhang Xiao and his astral beasts were monsters that she would have difficulty overcoming. Yan Ying thought to herself. Now in my hands, only the white-toothed tiger can enter the arena. After a while of calculating, Yendin made the choice I have to welcome the Thunder Beast back. Her eyes were determined even though it has no fighting power. But at least there are 2 enough stars to satisfy the competition conditions. Anyway, the white-toothed tiger must be let on the stage to take a chance. Having decided, Su Yanying walked against the crowd towards the tall buildings. Her long hair tied in a ponytail fluttered in the wind. Scene changes to Xiaotaoqi pet store. Su Yanying walked into the store and looked around in confusion. Is anyone here? She went inside. The shop was brightly lit, but there was no one, and no furniture. The shop was empty. Yanying looked around for a while. Are they moving? Luckily, I got there in time. Yanming looked worried and called out to the shop owner again. Boss, I'm here to pick up my pet. As soon as she spoke, a noise came from inside the door. Su Ping opened the door and looked at Yan Ying. Hello. Seeing someone in the shop, Yan Ying became happy. She told Su Ping the purpose of her visit. Hello, boss. I left the Thunder Beast with you half a month ago. Is it okay? Now I came to pick it up ahead of schedule. Hearing Su Yan Ying say that she was the owner of the Thunder Beast, Su Ping was a little surprised and thought, this is the owner of the Thunder Beast. He turned back unhappily and replied to her, it's very healthy, so healthy that it can't be any healthier than usual. Go to the checkout. Su Yanying tilted her head, wondering why the shop owner had such a strange attitude towards her. This boss seems a bit strange somewhere. Is it because I picked him up early, afraid that I wouldn't pay? Thinking. So. Yanying smiled happily. Boss, don't worry, even though I came to pick you up early. I will pay the exact amount as previously discussed. I won't owe you a single penny. Bin heard her say that and turned around to glance at her. Then, without saying a word, he turned away, ignoring Yan Ying, who was still smiling with goodwill. Su Ping's strange actions made Yan Ying even more worried, her head full of questions. Did I make him angry? Su Bin led her to where her Thunder Beast was resting. It was sleeping soundly in its cage. Su Ping looked at him lovingly and used both hands to lift him up high. He sighed softly. It's time to wake up. It's time for you to go home. It happily waved its 2 front legs and closed its eyes as if it was smiling at him softly, calling out G. Su Ping stood against the light holding the Thunder Beast in his arms. The scene was so peaceful and warm, he lovingly told it, after you return home to your master, don't forget me. It also happily replied to him, G. The machine beeped. The dry payment machine read out the check message. Money transaction detected, store is opening. Money has automatically changed to energy points. The system screen suddenly appeared in front of Su Ping. The Chaos Spirit Pool reproduction mission has been established. Host is invited to create an astral beast that belongs to you. Time limit is 7 days. The mission reward will randomly receive an astral trainer skill book. If the mission fails, the host's points will be deducted. When the score does not reach the target, the host will log out of the live server. Su Ping was startled when he saw the long notification that said, host can buy awakening solution in the shop to become an astral trainer. Hearing the system's last announcement, Su Ping opened his eyes wide in surprise. I can become a battle pet master. The blue notification screen of the system switch displayed 3 choices in front of Su Ping. The awakening liquid shop costs 100 energy. The primary pet capture ring costs 100 energy. The primary pet food costs 10 energy. The system answered the question in his heart. Yes, just use the awakening liquid. In addition, the shop will be in the host's consciousness. If you want to buy anything in the future, just chant, and it will appear. Without hesitation, Su Ping excitedly clicked on the awakening potion icon buy. The red lock screen display, a notification, cannot purchase insufficient energy. It continued to notify Su Ping. Energy is mainly converted from the money earned by the host at a conversion rate of 100 to 1. Remaining energy today is 1 point. Su Ping dejectedly lowered his head to look at the notification displayed on his watch energy. Could it be? The watch showed a message saying the bill was 108 Jian. The total amount was the amount that Su Yanying paid to bring back the Thunder Beast. Su Ping couldn't believe it and shouted, 108 Jian. He was so angry that his eyes were red with anger, and he shouted loudly, "What, I raised an astral pet that can comprehend the 10 great secret techniques. It's only worth 108 Jin," he shouted indignantly in the shop. His lament echoed throughout the entire street. The scene changes to a referee arena, who is excitedly cheering under the witness of thousands of spectators in the stands. Too exciting, Zhang Xiao's Dragron demon dog only used one move. On the arena floor was a severely injured white-toothed tiger, lying prostrate on the ground. Behind her was Su Yanying, silently watching her pet being beaten to pieces. Is it possible to injure Su Yanying's white-toothed tiger? On this side, the Dragron demon dog was roaring proudly in front of a boy with short black hair. The referee continued to cheer. As expected of Zhang Xiao, the one who is known as the elite of the mid-game, his strength is indeed formidable. The boy smirked and looked at Su Yanying with a mocking smile, asking, "Do you want more?" This person was Zhang Xiao, a third-year Battle Pet Master student at Fengshan Academy. On the judge's viewing platform, someone was looking down at the arena, looking at the whole scene. On one side, the Dragron demon dog stood tall and majestic. On the other side, the white-toothed tiger was lying flat on the ground. There was nothing left to watch in this match. The speaker was the vice principal. He sat on the chair, attentively observing the match, and commented on the situation below. In the previous 2 rounds, Su Yanying was also one of the good seeds among the players, but unfortunately, she encountered 2 trump cards of our academy. Most of her favorite stars were seriously injured, and she almost had no chance of winning anymore. Sitting on the next chair, a woman wearing iron armor, one arm on her right hand and her left hand on her cheek, watched the match with little interest and commented, "Too weak." In a situation where defeat was certain, she didn't think of preserving her own strength and risked her life like that. She really has no sense of thinking at all. A white-haired muscular man smiled, showing off his white teeth, and crossed his arms in front of his chest. "You're an outsider, so you're always sober. The results of this competition are related to whether she's qualified to join the pioneering team or not." Another man wearing red glasses and holding a grapevine happily added, "Of course, with no chance of winning. The only option left is to take a risk." The referee shouted into the microphone with all his might, "Let's see how Su Yanying will prepare to deal with a situation like this." On the arena was the confrontation between Su Yanying and Zhang Xiao. The balance of the competition was completely tilted towards Zhang Xiao. One side leisurely enjoyed the match, while the other side tensely considered each step. Should they accept defeat or fight to the end? Su Yanying stared at her opponent nervously. In her mind, she thought of the little thunderlight beast who was leisurely nibbling on his food. Why did he lose so quickly? The referee's voice rang out once again. After losing the last match, Su Yanying's white-toothed tiger, although he had been treated still, had not fully recovered. This time, he got injured again. The hope of winning this match is almost 0. He predicted the outcome of the match without any regard for Su Yanying's thoughts. She was extremely nervous. She was covered in sweat and gritted her teeth to endure the discomfort of losing. Is this how my 3 years of life in the academy has to end? On the opposite side, Zhang Xiao faintly smiled and said, "You're nothing more than that," then coldly ordered his pet Dragron demon dog, Give her some face. Dragron Demon Dog received his master's order and stored a large amount of energy in its mouth, preparing to shoot it towards Su Yanying and her white-toothed tiger. The referee shouted, "Zhang Xiao made his move. Zhang Xiao's Dragron Demon Dog has stored up enough energy. A fireball is in its mouth." Flame Dragon. Fire. The referee continued to be dedicated with his commentary, deciding to attack while the white-toothed tiger has not yet recovered to end the match. Su Yanying opened her eyes wide in shock, looking at the scene before her. She closed her eyes in fear and raised her hands in front of her to try to protect her astral beast. Then she shouted loudly as the giant fireball was rushing at the speed of light towards her. I admit defeat. The arena was surrounded by a light blue defensive shield. Inside the defensive shield was an explosion caused by the fireballs fired by the Dragron Demon Dog. Some of the students in the stands were frightened by the powerful force of that attack and shouted, "Oh my God, I thought that attack would explode all the way here." The person next to him smiled and encouraged his friend. "Don't worry, the shield of this stand is controlled by a senior referee. It's not something a student can break." In the stands, people were surprised by the power of Zhang Xiao's attack on the floor after the dust cleared. Su Yanying was surprised that she didn't suffer any scratches from such a powerful attack. The referee from above erected a shield in front of Su Yanying and her astral pet white-toothed tiger, protecting them completely. Yanying stood beside her pet and looked up at the referee in a daze. The referee made his move. Su Yanying surrenders. The referee announced, "Let us congratulate Zhang Xiao on winning this match." When he heard this result, Zhang Xiao should have been happy because he was the winner. But now he frowned and looked at her with an annoyed expression. "Just a little more. Consider yourself lucky. Wait for the next match." Although Yanying was safe after surrendering, she was still extremely worried. She turned her head to look at the thunder beast that was still happily and innocently nibbling on food behind her, unaware of what was about to happen. What should we do now? Only the thunder beast can go up to the arena. But after returning from that pet shop, the thunder beast only ate that trashy food. Could it be that the shop spoiled it? In its current state, should I let it go up to the arena? Yanjing lowered her head and fell into deep thought. Everything in her head was in a mess. She couldn't bear to let Lei Guangthu act as a pawn and take the hit. No, even the white-toothed tiger couldn't fight back, so how could I let it get hurt? While Su Yanying was confused and didn't know what to do, the referee spoke up to remind her, "Ladies and gentlemen, according to the rules of the competition, Su Yanying now only has Thunder Light Beast left to fight." She nervously considered her next step. Do I really have to put it on the fighting stage? Even if I have mastered the third-level strength enhancement battle pet technique, it can only temporarily increase the level 1 battle strength of the Thunder Light Beast to level 3. Su Yanying thoughtfully imagined the battle strength of the Thunder Light Beast after she strengthened it. The referee continued to quote words as if affirming that the winning rate of Su Yanying and her Thunder Light Beast was 0. Everyone knows that if a level 3 Dragron Demon Dog were to face a level 1 Thunderlight Beast, it would definitely be a one-sided abuse match. The referee's words were like motivation for the people sitting in the stands. They laughed and shouted sarcastically at Yanying. "Su Yanying, don't be afraid, just try it. Who knows, you might win." They laughed heartily and said some not-so-nice things. "Get down. Zhang Xiao's dog can eat mice. Get down! Get down! Get down!" Under the pressure of those sarcastic words, Su Yanying clenched her fists and lowered her head to look at the white-toothed tiger lying on the fighting floor with injuries all over its body, not noticing the lightning beast changing behind it. Its eyes were bloodshot. Lightning bolts appeared around its body. The entire body of the lightning beast seemed to be getting bigger and more muscular. It squeaked as it looked towards its opponent. Yanwing still did not realize the great change of the thunder beast. She frowned and slowly raised her arm. "The gap in strength is too great. I cannot let the thunder beast die in vain. Looks like I have to stop here. I surrender." Yan Ying had not finished speaking yet, and was bitterly closing her eyes, wanting to surrender to ensure the safety of the Thunder Light Beast, when it raised its sharp claws and charged forward, squeaking as it aimed at the opponent. Seeing the Thunder Beast charging forward, the referee excitedly shouted, "Hey, the Thunder Beast is on the stage." It seems that Su Yanying is ready for a meaningless battle. The Thunder Beast blocked Su Yanying's way fiercely and fearlessly, facing Zhang Xiao's Dragrun demon dog, which was 10 times larger than it. Seeing the current situation, the referee immediately signaled the match may now begin. Su Yanying looked at the Thunder Beast in surprise. The referee started counting 3. The Thunder Beast turned its head and smiled as if to encourage its little master Ji. The referee counted to 2. Zhang Xiao smiled and looked at the brave little mouse. "Luckily you came up to the field yourself, otherwise it would be meaningless." And as soon as the referee's one shout ended, Zhang Xiao's eyes flashed with an evil red light. He shouted loudly, "Draken Demon Dog!" He ordered it to charge towards the Thunderlight Beast. "Burn that trash rat for me. Begin." The little mouse's entire body was covered in blue electricity. It stood proudly on the arena, accumulating energy. The energy was so strong that it caused the arena to shatter and rocks to fly everywhere. Seeing that Huoji immediately sat up straight, her eyes wide with surprise as she looked at the scene below the arena. In her mind, she thought, what is that state could it be? Su Yanying quickly regained her fighting spirit. She immediately ordered the mouse Thunder Mouse use lightning speed to avoid the attack. But her command startled the Thunder Beast. It let out a cry and trembled in shock. Looking at the enemy's incoming attack, the rat's face turned pale. That command interrupted the execution of the move. Thundermouse panicked and screamed loudly. It quickly ran away to avoid the rain of fireballs that were falling from the sky. But there was no way to escape. Thundermouse was hit by a fireball and cried out in pain. Su Yendin shouted helplessly from afar. Thundermouse. Seeing this scene, Huoji sighed. "It's because I think too much." The referee reported the tense situation in the arena. Thundermouse was attacked by Dragrun Demon Dog and was lying on the ground. Facing this defeat, there was a very good saying. Although running away was extremely humiliating, it was effective. But running slowly was also useless. Zhang Xiao did not hold back and laughed happily. He continued to order his astral pet to attack and torture. "Thundermouse Dragrun Demon Dog, come on. Slowly, torment it for me. Tear it apart." Dragrun Demon Dog listened to his master's command and fiercely charged forward. The referee was still full of enthusiasm, describing every movement of the match. Dragrun Demon Dog prepares to attack at close range. It seems that Zhang Xiao doesn't intend to end the match quickly. He wants to slowly teach this mouse an unforgettable lesson. That's right. The Demon Dragon Dog crazily approached the Thunder Mouse at close range. It opened its blood-red mouth wide and charged towards the little mouse. As for the Thunder Mouse, after being hit, its reaction was slower. It could only stand there frozen as it watched the ferocious astral pet charge towards it. Su Yanying saw that the situation was not good. She quickly controlled her power. Oh no. Level 3, Power Enhancement. Yanying strengthened the Thunder Mouse and ordered Speed Lightning Dodge. The little mouse quickly dodged the sharp teeth of the Dragrun Demon Dog, making the Dragrun Demon Dog stunned. The judges who were watching the match were also very surprised. The vice principal couldn't believe it and said, "What, the speed of the lightning can be that fast?" The muscular man beside him also grinned. "This is interesting." The lightning speed of the Thunder Mouse that allowed it to successfully dodge also surprised the referee. The people sitting on the observation deck watched Thunder Mouse dodged. Aiming at the right moment, Su Yanying waved his hand and ordered the mouse over there. "Right now. Quickly attack." The Thunder Mouse gained strength and immediately entered a fighting state. It turned around and looked in the direction of the Dragrun Demon Dog. Once again, the Thunder Mouse used its move. The bricks and stones on the floor were shattered and flew into the air. The floor also cracked as the Thunder Mouse used its strength. Huoji was once again surprised and widened her eyes. Witnessing this scene, she seemed to realize something unusual. I'm not seeing things this move. Is level 7 Thunder skill. The move was successfully executed. Thundermouse created a giant lightning sword in the air. The tip of the sword aimed straight at Dragron Demon Dog on the opposite side. The lightning sword used a speed invisible to the naked eye to rush towards the Dragron Demon Dog, piercing through its body. The speed was so fast that the Dragron Demon Dog took the full brunt of the attack without having time to dodge. Not stopping there, the lightning bolt of the Thundermouse also powerfully penetrated the protective shield erected by the high-ranking referee and rushed into the sky filled with dark clouds, surprising the people around. What is this? That attack made the judges sitting on the observation deck stand up and lean in closer. They looked down at the arena. Everyone was surprised a level 1 Thundermouse can actually use a level 7 Thunder Break skill. The muscular man smiled with delight and commented, "This youngster is truly formidable, Vice Principal." The lightning flashed through, and the Dragron Demon Dog was seriously injured. Its entire body was burning red and still emitting smoke as it lay on the fighting platform. The smoke and dust cleared, and Zhang Xiao sat on the ground dumbfounded, watching his astral pet being defeated. His face turned pale and his whole body trembled when he witnessed the horrifying scene just now. He tried to pretend to be calm and forced a crooked smile. No, impossible. The whole place was silent. Even the referee was frozen in place and couldn't react to Yan Ying and Thundermouse's amazing turnaround. The audience in the stands also sweated silently as they witnessed that spectacular scene. Right at this moment, the referee loudly explained the situation just now. It's a thunderbolt. Su Yan Ying's Thundermouse actually mastered a level 7 skill. This is truly unbelievable. Let's congratulate the winner of this match is Su Yan Ying. The image of Yan Ying sitting against the wall of the arena, bewildered and unable to believe what had just happened, was projected into the air in front of the entire arena. Next to her was Thundermouse, who had returned to normal, a small, adorable white mouse. The stands exploded as all the spectators stood up in unison, excitedly celebrating Yan Ying's successful comeback. I remember the level of Thundermouse is level 1. How could it learn such a high-level skill? Oh my God. This is unbelievable. What kind of luck is this? That's a level 7 skill. It's not fake. Damn, this skill is so powerful, but it was comprehended by this Thunder Beast. What a waste. No one could believe the Thundermouse's miraculous victory. Some people even felt regretful that a level 1 pet beast was able to comprehend such a high-level skill and angrily said harsh words. But ignoring those words, Su Yan Ying breathed a sigh of relief. She smiled and arranged the questions in her mind. She reached out and called Thundermouse closer to her. What's going on? Level 7. Thunder Fragment. Why is the Thunder Beast so strong? It was clear a few days ago that, thinking of this, Su Yan Ying seemed to remember something. Wait, could it be? The cute little Thundermouse looked at his master in confusion. Was it because of the store owner? She happily raised the Thunder Beast to her chest, unless the owner of that shop is the legendary hidden expert. But thinking of something, she suddenly frowned and denied, even though he doesn't look like him at all. At the shop, Su Ping was scooping up the poop for the black dog when he suddenly sneezed. In one hand, he held a broom, and in the other hand, he held a shovel full of the boss's products. Damn dog, don't poop everywhere, Su Ping angrily scolded. The dog happily wagged its tail and smiled, thinking about the piece of poop. Meanwhile, Su Ping covered his runny nose with a bad expression and thought, strange. It seems like someone just mentioned me. The scene changed back to the Fengshan Academy's selection arena. Greetings, this battle will definitely be recorded in the Academy's competition history. The referee fluently recounted the miracle that had just happened once again. And you will be the ones to witness this miracle. A mere level 1 astral pet was able to master a level 7 skill. In this Fengshan Academy. No. This is unprecedented in the entire Longjiang city. While the referee was bragging about the once-in-a-century miracle of Su Yendin and Thundermouse, Under the ring, Truong-hyu used his hand to cover one side of his face, revealing only a sinister and unwilling expression. I should have thought of this earlier. How could she let something useless come and pay for such an important match? The referee announced this match as a draw. The players on both sides are preparing for the final battle to the death. Will Zhang Xiao finally be able to find a way to defeat Thundermouse? He raised his hand and called out to the summoning gate, bringing the unconscious Dragon demon dog on the ground inside Su Yanying. You're quite good, or will Su Yanying and her Thundermouse win? The referee's questions were asked to arouse everyone's curiosity, adding to the drama of the match. Zhang Xiao started to get mad. He was not convinced and arrogantly waved his hand and shouted, "But that's all. Come out quickly!" After Zhang Xiao's command, a giant leg appeared from the summoning gate. Astral beast, a huge and majestic beast, with blue eyes, 4 legs like 4 pillars on its back. It seems to carry a massive undulating mountain. Truong-hyu glanced disdainfully. Thunderstorm will not have any effect. Su Yanying saw the pet beast Zhang Xiao summoned this time, and gradually became tense. She hugged the Thundermouser tightly in her arms, raising her defenses and assessing it without underestimating it. Rock Rhino. Oh no, that's an rock-type pet beast. I've never seen him use it before. This must be his trump card. The referee analyzed. The astral pet Zhang Xiao summoned, this time is a level 4 Earth-type astral pet, Rock Rhino. The difference is 3 levels, and the attributes are also quite different. I'm afraid the Thundermouse will be less safe than dangerous in this match. But suddenly, the Thundermouse became aggressive. It grew bigger and jumped out to block Su Yanying, growling threateningly at its opponent, to the surprise of its owner. Thundermouse chose to fight. It was not afraid of its opponent. The match immediately began. The referee quickly reported every action of Thundermouse. The muscular teacher happily leaned on the railing and leisurely watched the match about to take place. Looking at Zhang Xiao, he must be preparing to use his strongest strength. That brat isn't afraid at all. But I feel like there's nothing left to discuss about this match. Huoji stood behind him, arms crossed, observing the situation. She placed her hand on her chin and said passionately, "As long as it is not controlled by a bloodline with different attributes, it will definitely win. If it only has level 1 strength, it can still stand up after using a level 7 skill. Seeing that it is full of fighting spirit right now, I think it has not yet unleashed its full power." The referee waved his hand to signal the match begins. Zhang Xiao smiled sinisterly. Increased strength level 2, increased disability level 2. He continuously increased the power of Rock Rhino. Level 3, increase in durability. The Rock Rhino was covered in a green energy stream from its entire body. It raised its front leg and roared. That was Zhang Xiao's Rock Rhino skill. It had become much stronger now. Now the Rock Rhino could at least display its level 5 strength. A strong wind blew rocks, and dirt flew everywhere, forcing Yanying to put her hands on the floor to stand firm. She gritted her teeth as she looked at Rock Rhino, who was getting stronger and stronger in front of her. The pressure is too strong. I also have to give Thundermouse strength. Su Yanying hadn't even finished thinking of a battle plan when she looked blankly at Thundermouse in front of her, who was struggling to withstand the pressure from Rock Rhino. This isn't good. The distance is too far. I can't use the strength enhancement skill. Rock Rhino and Thundermouse madly charged at each other in the middle of the arena. The referee impatiently commented, "Was it player Su Yanying's fault? Thundermouse hasn't increased his enhancement yet and is already fighting head-on with Rock Rhino." Zhang Xiao smiled evilly as he watched the huge monster stomp its foot towards the small Thundermouse. The difference in size between the two was too great. Damn mouse. Let my Rock Rhino stomp you flat. At this moment, the Thunder Beast's eyes suddenly lit up. Lightning flashed around its body. Rock Rhino stomped on the spot where Thundermouse had just stood. The mouse split into 2 and jumped out of the way, avoiding a fatal attack. Thundermouse turned into 2 and rushed past Rock Rhino's legs. The referee was extremely surprised and reported the situation that had just happened. Thunder afterimage. The 4 people on the high platform were shocked. This is impossible. It's thunder after image. Oh my God, that's a level 7 skill. The referee happily shouted into the microphone. Huoji's eyes sparkled with interest and he laughed. That's interesting. My team must get this Su Yan Ying. On the arena, the huge rock rhino was bewildered, wondering why Thundermouse had disappeared. He looked around everywhere. Thundermouse did not fight with Rock Rhino, but directly charged towards Zhang Xiao's position. Meanwhile, two thunder beasts charged like lightning towards Zhang Xiao, who was standing at the edge of the arena. Is this how you want to fight a war, by capturing the king first? The two-eyed mouse flashed with judgment. It remembered the time it fought with Su Ping and the skills he taught it. Thunder Mouse attacks when they are unprepared. Remember, always observe the weak on the battlefield. Prioritize the solution, first causing the opponent to lose strength. Zhang Xiao didn't expect Thunder Mouse to circle around Rock Rhino and attack him, so he was caught off guard. He was sweating, profusely panicked, and quickly put up a shield before retreating back. Fuck. Don't come over here. Level 3, Astral Shield. But the Thunder Mouse once again transformed into a long lightning sword. The lightning sword pierced through Zhang Xiao's thin shield and charged at him. Zhang Xiao had no way to retreat and was facing the sharp tip of the lightning sword. A loud explosion shook the entire hall. Inside the shield, protecting the stands, was an extremely intense lightning bolt that lit up a large area of the arena. The referee was excited. Thunder and Afterimage used thunder at the same time. Zhang Xiao's Astral Shield was completely broken when it was used. With this attack, Power Can contestant Zhang Xiao retreats safely. He carefully observed the thick layer of dust that was covering the place where Zhang Xiao had just been attacked. The smoke and dust cleared and countless black feathers flew through the air. In the middle of the arena, there was a deep depression. In the sky, a brown bird with a snake-like tail was carrying Zhang Xiao, who was foaming at the mouth and floating unconsciously in the air. It was the referee Jude Aeolon, God-bird who took action. Zhang Xiao seems to have lost his mind. The bird slowly flew down to the ground and slowly placed Zhang Xiao, who was as soft as a noodle, on the competition floor. A person wearing a black cloak announced Zhang Xiao lost the third match. That person was the referee. Su Yanying wins. Let's clap our hands and congratulate Su Yanying for winning the qualifying round. The referee announced the match result, causing the entire stadium to explode once again. The audience all stood up excitedly and shouted in unison, Su Yanying, Su Yanying. The atmosphere in the stadium was hotter than ever. Amidst the cheers of thousands of people in the stands, Yanying raised her hand to touch her flushed face. Happiness filled her face. I'm not dreaming, right? Besides pulling out paragraphs, it also learned thunder afterimage. She became more certain of her thoughts. It must be so. It must be the owner of that Atral's pet shop. The master behind that shop is truly profound and unfathomable. He looks normal, and nothing strange who would have known that he is a peerless master. Scene change. There is a certain pet spreading its wings and flying in the dark sky. Below is a tall building with lights still on. Su Ping was resting his head on his arms in his room. He thought to himself, I must earn 10,000 in 3 days. Then he sighed. It's impossible to rely on just being fed. Su Ping recalled the notification that the system gave him during the day. Currently, this shop only serves 3 types of pets: consignment, rental, and food sales. Since the host did not purchase a breeding unit, the 2 consignments of this shop are currently waste products given by the system. Therefore, the consignment fee per hour is 10 points. He asked the system thoughtfully, So what about renting and selling food? The system quickly responded. A series of information was displayed on the screen. Astral Pet rental services are all based on the overall assessment of combat power and aptitude to rent. Currently, the host does not have a pet, so it cannot be assessed. Su Ping finished reading and secretly calculated. Selling food requires the host to personally go to the training area to collect it, based on the quality of the food to determine the price. The first type is free, then forget it. But the second type, I am not qualified. I have no choice but to choose the third one. He seriously asked the system, "System, can pet food be picked in the entire training area, or is it only available in dangerous areas like the Thundercloud Sea realm?" The system quickly displayed the information that Su Ping needed on the screen. The entire training area is available. The Thundercloud Sea realm is just one of the countless high-level training areas. In addition, the higher the level of the area, the more likely it is to collect rare food. Su Ping suddenly remembered. He was so heartbroken that he vomited blood as if he had been struck by lightning. The previous 3 days of training mission. I was only worried about training the district and the rats wasting the opportunity to collect food in the high-level training area for 3 days. This can't be that I must become an astral trainer within 3 days. He frowned and made a firm decision. The scene changes to in front of a shop. The boss's door has been pulled down, but through the gap below, light is still shining from inside. System opens the list of training areas. As soon as the command was finished, countless rectangular frames connected together in a spiral around Su Ping. They gradually moved up and then gathered into a bright point of light. Each rectangular frame represents a training area. The regions are clearly classified. The top-level training area requires 1,000 energy points, including the Primordial God Realm, the Cloud Sea Thunder Realm, and the Chaos Purple Spirit Realm. The advanced training area requires 100 energy points. There are the Asura Realm, the Middle Realm, and the Great Spirit Creek Pond. The intermediate training area requires 10 energy points. The Lava Cave, the Land of the Mist, and the Silver Moon. Snow Mountain. The elementary training area requires 1 energy point. The remaining energy point is 1. Su Ping stood in front of the frames representing each training area without saying a word. With his remaining little energy points, he cursed angrily and had no choice but to accept that he could only go to the lowest level cultivation area. If I had picked a medicinal herb last time, it wouldn't have been this miserable. At this moment, the system's blue screen appeared, and it reprimanded Su Ping. As a qualified host, you must have the self-awareness to collect everything related to your pet. Next, the system announced host has been distributed to the most suitable area. Do you want to enter? Primary energy cultivation area needs an extrasolar region. 1002. The picture above is a river with green grass. Suddenly, many streams of light appeared around Su Ping. The wind blew, causing his hair and the coat he was wearing to flutter. Su Ping stood up straight, his face solemn, his hands clenched tightly. The host meets the standards. I understand. I can't miss any chance to level up my astral pet. Let's go. After Su Ping's command to enter, he was teleported to a place with green mountains and blue water, with tall mountains surrounded by winding clouds. In the Emerald Lake, there were creatures with long necks doing something in the middle of the lake. The host has connected to the extragalactic region 1002. The system continued to display the message, received a newbie space cube. Inside are 3 times the temporary appraisal technique of 10,000 flowers and herbs. Can be taken out at will through the thought. Su Ping passed through the teleportation gate and was squatting on the ground, looking blankly at the 3 scrolls inside the cube, floating in mid-air. The system notes, reminder this time. Search time is 1 day, 30 free deaths. Good luck to you. Su Ping followed the system's instructions and said, "Can I just use my mind?" He reached through the cube and grabbed the scroll inside, thinking, use the appraisal technique. Immediately, the cube seemed to have consciousness and created a spiral like a door that opened into the void inside. Tabin touched a scroll and used his mind to think of using it. Then he clenched his hand and the scroll slowly dissolved, creating blue afterimages floating in the cube space. But that blue afterimage was quickly sucked into Su Ping's left eye. He stood still and received the user manual that the system gave him. After using the instruction scroll, Su Ping turned to evaluate the surrounding plants. On top of each type of plant, there were lines of text describing them. Stone flower, common rarity. Usage. After drinking the stone pet, it can gain some healing effects. Jing Chu Kao. Common rarity. Usage can create a year cushion for low-level pets. Fang Huang Mu, common rarity. Usage pets that eat its fruit can recover some of their stamina. Su Ping pushed aside the dense branches and leaves and glanced at the plants in the forest. If there's no danger, the only things you can pick are low-priced recovery foods, common rare herbs. Su Ping was in the thick bushes when he suddenly saw a huge animal eating grass in front of him. He carefully lifted the grass and observed, "That's stone snake attribute. Earth system. Below level 8. Battle strength. 8-1. Poor aptitude. Ability. Coil snake swallow landmines explode. Protect the earth." Right in front of the stone snake are 2 branches of red grass that sparkle. In the sunlight, the tops are covered with small, round, darker red fruits. Rock master fruit. Rarity. Rare usage. Using the flag can increase fire element damage skills. It is the plant that fire element pets like the most. Without hesitation, Tu Bin immediately rushed towards the main worm rock. His face was filled with joy when he discovered that the pet was of high value. Indeed, pets that could be sold for high prices would live in the most dangerous places, while his storage space was limited. Su Ping used both hands to pull the rock fruit cover right in front of the stone snake's mouth, surprising it. He slid down on the grass. Then I have to choose the most expensive one to pick. Then hurriedly summoned the novice storage space. He risked putting the lava worm main fruit into his storage space, even though his hand was bitten by the stone snake and fresh blood was gushing out. The system coldly read the message remaining number of resurrections, 29. Su Ping thought in his mind, "No matter how many times I die reviving, that many times is worth it." He desperately swung on a vine to steal a white flower cluster right in front of a group of green monsters' sharp-toothed mouths. The system displayed the number of remaining respawns as 16. Su Ping was standing on a cliff in the crater. Below him was a stream of boiling lava, gathering mushroom-shaped food. The number of resurrections left was 9. Then he became a delicious prey for 2 giant white birds. One of them used its beak to tightly grasp his left arm. The other was swallowing Su Ping's lower body. He still tried to hold on tightly and not let go of the long, light brown food. The number of resurrections left was 4. This time Su Ping threw himself into the deep lake again. In his arms, he held a bundle of green pet food tightly, but behind him was a fish-like monster with its mouth wide open, ready to swallow him. The number of resurrections left was 1. The system announced loudly, "All the respawn times have been used up, leaving the training area." Su Ping sat in the middle of the wall covered in sweat, panting. Reviving 30 times a day is a bit too much, but none of this mattered. He raised his head and smiled happily. His eyes filled with satisfaction at his achievements. In front was the storage space that was full of loot. After each resurrection, Su Ping raised his head to look at his achievements and then put them all on the shelf. The scene changes to a room with food pellets scattered all over the floor. A brown furred pet with a red crest lies with its head down, curled up in a bed of straw. In front of it are 4 trays full of Astrazel pet food that it doesn't even eat a bite of. Old Fang sat looking at his pet with a worried face. "My precious, you haven't eaten anything for a week. What should we do now?" Behind the old man were 2 people, a man and a woman. The man was wearing a coat with a fur collar and carrying a suitcase in his hand. The girl with a worried face was Xiaoji, who stood silently looking at old Fang. The man opened the suitcase he was carrying. Inside were many different types of pet food. He happily said, "Grandpa, this is the most expensive pet food on the market today. Just let Little Fire taste it, and I guarantee it will regain its appetite." That man is the member of the Black Wolf team, Fang Yujing. Astral Pet Little Fire smelled the fragrance of the real astrals in the suitcase and immediately raised his head and looked around with wide eyes. It flapped its wings urgently, knocking away the food trays in front of it. Its eyes lit up and it rushed towards the scent, its mouth constantly calling out. Seeing that old Fang happily said with a bright face, "Is that so? Then quickly let him taste it. Little Fire, be good and open your mouth." On this side, Xiaoji sat down, opened the lid of a food box, and happily fed it to Little Fire. Little Fire was also very agile, taking it to his mouth and lowering his head to enjoy it. But before he could finish eating a single insect, Little Fire coughed in pain and spat out the insect in his mouth. The insect fell to the ground, emitting purple-black smoke along with drops of black blood. The Little Fire coughed and sprayed out. Fang Yu Jing shouted in surprise, "This is black blood." Xiao Yu anxiously called out to her brother, "Brother, even Little Fire won't eat the heavenly footworm." Fang Yu Jing panicked and urged his sister, quickly contact the city's most advanced pet hospital. Xiao Fire's illness is caused by a heart-devouring parasite. We can't delay any longer or he'll die." Old Fang was extremely panicked and quickly sat down hugging Tiu Hua, who was curled up in pain and stammering, "Then quickly call the doctor here." Just then, Old Fang's wife pushed the door open and entered. In her right hand, she held a container of round red pills, and in her left hand, she held one up in front of her. She happily said to the three people in the room, "Old Fang, our Little Fire is saved." Xiao Yu saw her grandmother enter and went forward to support her. Her expression was one of unconcealable worry. "Grandma, Little Fire is sick. We have to go to the city to see a doctor now." After hearing her words, the old woman was startled and panicked. What's wrong? But in her hand she was still holding a red pill. The strong scent from the pill wafted into the room. At this moment, Little Fire suddenly rushed out from Old Fang's arms and snatched the red pill from the old woman's hand, causing Old Fang, the old woman, and Xiao Yu to all be startled and panicked. Not waiting for anyone to react, it raised its head and happily swallowed the pill. Old Fang was surprised by Little Fire's actions. What Little Fire ate something? The old lady also smiled gently as she looked at the astral pet eating the pill. It's exactly as the boss said. She repeated every word the boss said to her when she bought this bottle of medicine. The red bird's attribute is pure intelligence and strength. If you eat pet food with too complex attributes, at least you will lose your appetite, and in severe cases, you will vomit blood. Just feed the scarlet bird, the scarlet rock fruit on time, and it will improve. If it still doesn't improve, come find me again. The mysterious seller who did not reveal his identity gave her the jar of scarlet rock fruit. Xiao Yu held the jar of worms in his hand and asked his brother with a worried face, "Brother, could it be that we fed him the wrong pet food?" Fang Yujing still didn't believe it. He firmly told Xiao Yu, "Don't believe that boss's nonsense. I've never heard of astral food with attribute distribution." Then he turned to ask his grandmother with a serious face, "Grandma, how much is this food?" Grandma was feeding Little Fire with red rock fruit and looked up to answer him, 130 wen for one. Hearing the price, the old lady said both Fang Yujing and Xiao Yu were startled. 130 pill. This box has 12 pills in total, so it would cost more than 1,500 wen. This place isn't a city. How can there be such expensive food? That store is definitely a scam. I heard that some fraudulent stores use some special chemicals mixed into pet food to make the pet food taste better, making the pet crave it. If they don't eat it, they will go crazy. In Xiao Yu's mind at this moment, there were only negative images. Astral pet food is mixed with all kinds of different drugs to create extremely toxic substances for astral pets. Just thinking about it made her face darken, but if used for a long time, the pet might eventually die. What Xiao Yu said was like a slap in the face to Old Fang. He looked at his beloved pet, happily eating the red rock fruit. What? Fang, Ngok. Qin grabbed his grandmother's shoulders with both hands, his face tense. "Grandma, where is this shop? What's its name? I'll go find him and ask him for the truth." Hearing that the grandmother was also very scared, her face turned pale as she looked at her grandson and replied, "What name? Xiao Taoqi's store." Entering Su Ping's pet shop, Fang Yujing and his sister Xiao Yu stood outside and shouted, "Black store, honestly own up." The shouts caused passers-by to stop and watch the commotion. Fang Yujing rushed into the store, came to Su Ping's front, and slammed his hand on the table, shouting, "What did you mix into the pet food?" Su Ping was reading the Federal Pet Handbook, Chapter 97. Confused as to what was going on, who are these two people? Why are they here causing trouble? Su Ping's head immediately jumped. He remembered that the old lady had bought a portion of the red rock fruit. Pet food, I should only sell one portion. These two people must be talking about the red rock fruit. Could it be that there is a problem with the pet food grown in the soil? This customer, the pet food of the store is all natural. There are no additives. After that red rock eagle ate the red rock fruit, did he have a bad reaction? Fang Yujing heard him speak and became even angrier, frowning and raising his voice even louder. Nothing more. If the things you sell are not problematic, why do they make the beast lose its appetite and want to eat them non-stop? You better tell the truth. Because of the noise Fang Yujing caused, many passers-by stopped in front of the store to watch the fun. The passers-by started whispering, "I've known for a long time that there was something wrong with this shop. Before they were littering the place with feces, but now they're selling pet food at high prices. The point is, I've never heard of these things before. The factory is so cruel that it hasn't been exposed online. They could be killing people with low-quality pet food and appetite stimulants." Hearing these baseless fabrications, Su Ping frowned unhappily. Xiao Yu crossed his arms in front of his chest. "Brother, let's not talk too much with him. Tell your friend from the Pet Food Association to investigate this black store." Fang Yujing gritted his teeth and said, "Okay." The two of them didn't even let Su Ping explain a word. His face darkened as he sat there listening to these two brothers talk nonsense. But then Su Ping angrily gritted his teeth and glared, asking, "You dare say this place is a black store?" He stood up, walked out of the counter, and looked at Xiao Yu. "You said there is no evidence. Please show me the evidence." Xiao Yu was scared by his domineering aura and fell to the ground. Why did this person's aura become so strong? It was really scary just now. Fang Yujing didn't know how to act. He reached out his hand towards Su Ping. "You dare to touch my sister. Do you want to die?" He reached out and grabbed Su Ping's neck, lifting him up. Su Ping remained calm and had no reaction. Su Ping glared. He controlled his spirit energy to surround his body. The hand that was grabbing Fang Yujing's neck suddenly broke. His fingers were in each direction, one finger each way. Fang Yujing screamed in pain. He grabbed his broken hand and panicked. Hey, why is this guy's strength suddenly so strong? At this time, the system suddenly appeared and issued a notice declaring, "Temporary mission, the store has been unreasonably defamed. Host is invited to prove his innocence. Prove that there is no problem with the pet food and maintain the store's reputation without suffering any loss. Mission success reward opportunity. To enter any training plane once, unlimited number of deaths. Time to enter. 5 days, mission failure, host will be deducted 10 points. Su Ping was startled to receive the mission notification from the system. The crowd of passers-by who were watching the fight saw Fang Yujing being beaten up and started whispering. This boss didn't say anything, but started to attack. "Let's go. Let's go. I won't come to this shop again." Fang Yujing looked at the male lead with hatred. His younger sister, Xiao Yu, looked at the male lead with a worried and scared look, but Su Ping didn't pay attention to them. He was busy thinking about how to handle the mess these two brothers had caused. If he didn't explain clearly, not only would he lose points, it would also affect future customers. Su Ping sighed softly. He regained his composure and raised his hand to swear. "Everyone, please don't make a fuss. I guarantee that the pet food in this store is absolutely safe. Everyone has doubted the store, so I can only show off my talent." The passers-by were surprised to see this and didn't leave in a hurry. Instead, they turned to scold Su Bin. "Still showing off your talent. Finally, you've shown your true colors. Black store. Hurry up and close the store and get organized." The fat guy with glasses behind him raised his hand in response. "Right. Close the store." The whole crowd started to get rowdy and shouted together, "Black store closed." The noise made Su Ping's blood boil. He coldly shouted, "Be quiet." The aura he exuded scared the passers-by. None of them dared to say a word. Su Ping calmly stood by the shelf holding a bottle of blue fruit and poured out a pill. He asked the people present, "Does anyone have a low-level water pet?" What he'd just poured out of the bottle was the 8700 original blue fruit. Hearing Su Ping's question, Xiao Yu didn't quite understand, but still hesitantly raised her hand. "I'll bring it." Su Ping ordered her, "Summon it out." Xiao Yu also obediently cooperated. "Okay." Xiao Yu's summoning portal opened. Her astral pet was a cute seal water beast. Water attribute, steel beast, level 1 combat power, poor aptitude, ability control water, jet purifying bubble. Su Ping held the blue fruit and walked toward Xiao Yu's water-type astral pet. Fang Yujing sat down worriedly when he saw him coming. He spread his arms to block his sister's astral pet. "What do you want to do?" He didn't mind Fang Yujing slowly sitting down in front of the water. Spouting beast put the raw blue fruit in front of it. "This is a raw blue fruit. Whether it is poor quality food or not, we will know." Xiao Yu's water-type pet was very happy when it saw the blue fruit. It gently took the blue fruit in Su Ping's hand into its mouth. The crowd behind started talking again. "Has anyone heard of Lam Nguyen fruit?" One person asked another. "It's very similar to Lam Bi fruit in the supernatural pet shop, but it's for treating constipation in pets." At this moment, the water-spraying pet suddenly changed. Around it appeared several energy rings that enveloped the body. Then, it emitted a dazzling light that hovered in the air. The pressure of the transformation caused the people around to shield themselves to block it. Only, Bin calmly observed the entire transformation process without being affected in any way. Xiao Yu was protected by Fang Yujing behind his shield. She was worried about her pet. What happened to the water-spraying pet? Could this light be level up, completed, level up, 2? The small horn on the head of the water-spraying beast grew a little longer. It looked up happily. The water-spraying beast was a water-type beast, level 2, combat power level 1, intermediate aptitude, poor control ability, water jet purifying bubble. Su Ping smiled with satisfaction and let out a light breath. The blue fruit can level up low-level water-type pets. It seems that the pet food is not fake. However, this pet's combat power increased by 1 level, but its aptitude only increased by half a level. It's really worrying. When the pet's level is raised, it will increase a little combat power. The more combat power is increased, the less judgment talent is added. The more the difference, the higher the judgment talent. At the same time, the pet's bloodline is also divided into classes. The bloodline class has meaning. Pets can increase their natural basic combat power to their inherent level according to their age and level growth. For example, a water-spouting beast with a level 3 bloodline, even if not paid attention to nurturing, will naturally grow to level 3 combat power after adulthood. However, if you want to continue to increase your combat power, you must continue to nurture it. The passers-by pointed at Xiao Yu's newly leveled water astral pet and laughed. "Level up already is leveling up that simple," Yujing thought. Looking at the appearance of this water-spraying beast, it must have successfully leveled up. But I've only heard that treasures that can help pets level up have appeared in the Federal Reclamation Warehouse. He still couldn't believe that the water-spraying beast could level up so easily just by eating a single blue fruit. If that's true, then the background of this shop owner is really terrifying. Xiao Yu squatted down and picked up the water-spraying beast to examine it carefully. She couldn't believe that her pet could level up so easily. It really leveled up. "You didn't steal the porridge, did you?" This made Su Ping very unhappy. He stood still and looked down at the little girl squatting on the ground. At this moment, Yujing changed his attitude 180 degrees. He pressed his sister's head down and said, "Sorry, we were rude." Xiao Yu, whose head was pressed down, cried out, "Brother, what are you doing?" Facing Fang Yujing's apology, Su Ping still had a dark face and did not speak. "It was us who were blind. We hope you will forgive us." After they apologized enough, he pointed to the shelf displaying the jar of whole blueberries in the store. 8,700 for one. That's the price I don't choose people in business. 8,700 for whole blueberries. This price made the two Yujing brothers shocked, and their eyes widened. They stood frozen on the spot. Yu Jing tactfully smiled and patted his sister's shoulder, saying, "Okay, Xiao Yu, quickly pay." Xiao Yu was so angry that her face looked like she was going to a funeral. She reached out to pay. My money. But Fang Yu Jing had another thought in mind. A treasure that helps pets level up is already very cheap at 8,700. It's better to say it's the price of white cabbage. Su Ping made a gloomy face. This price is still as low as before I risked my life to harvest pet food at such a cheap price. He pointed at the system. Hey, system, can't you really increase the price? These top-quality pet foods are sold too cheaply. The system immediately displayed a message. The price is reasonable and cannot be changed. One warning and curse. Su Ping had no choice but to listen speechless. He sighed and instructed Fang Yu Jing, "Your sister's water-spraying pet's aptitude is too low. It needs to use the 7-colored Buddha heart to improve it. In addition, the scarlet spider-bird also needs to use the rock fruit for a long time to fully recover. I suggest buying more." Hearing Su Ping's words, Fang Yu Jing was visibly happy. He turned to his sister and said, Okay, Xiao Yu, quickly pay." Xiao Yu was a little annoyed but still obediently listened to him. The crowd watching the excitement behind him had not yet left. They were still standing behind, whispering and discussing the actions of the Fang Yu Jing brothers. It's really effective. And the words are so good. Isn't this marketing? In the crowd watching the excitement, a few people started to waver. Do you want to try buying some? A man smiled and said, It's not expensive at all. Leveling up will be very profitable, boss. Please sell me some pet food. Then the people behind started to make a fuss and argue. Hey, I'm here first. Su Ping smiled, holding a jar of blueberries in his hand and raising it forward. Everyone, don't be impatient. Take turns. The bustling crowd jostled and raised their hands towards him to buy the food. Boss, I want it too, boss. Switching scenes, the system displays a message checked and found that the account has 31,560 coins that have been converted into 315 energy points. Complete the temporary mission and receive a one-time reward of the opportunity to enter the 5-day random training. Su Ping clasped his hands in a sign of success. He happily said, Finally escaped poverty, saved enough money to buy this awakening potion. System, open a store. Shop awakening. Solution. 100. Primary pet trap. 100 primary pet food. 10 energy points. 315. Su Ping stood in front of the system store display screen. He smiled and clicked buy without hesitation. Minus 100 energy points. Su Ping looked at the small bottle of medicine in his hand with a slightly doubtful face. Is just a small bottle of medicine like this really effective? He opened the bottle and swallowed, then tilted his head back and poured the medicine bottle into his mouth. Not long after drinking, Su Ping's entire body changed. He opened his eyes and accepted the pain. A fierce wave of energy seemed to surge through his body. Su Ping was immersed in that huge wave of energy. Finally, the huge energy wave gradually absorbed into Su Ping's body. He bowed his head and knelt on one knee on the ground. When Su Ping raised his head, something changed in him. Finally, an astral trainer. Su Ping tested his strength. Powerful energy waves surged throughout his body. He suddenly glanced back. He quickly grabbed the fly's wings and accurately caught the flying fly without harming the fly at all. He thought to himself, Is this the reaction force of an astral trainer? Suddenly the system spoke up. There is still 215 energy left. Would you like to upgrade the Chaotic Nourishment Spirit Pond? The system displays a note for the message just given. Level 1, Chaotic Cultivation Spirit Pond, requires 10 energy points. One-time cultivation has a small chance of failure. The probability of giving birth to a low-level bloodline pet is extremely small. Giving birth to a mid-level bloodline pet that is upgraded to level 2 requires 100 energy points. One cultivation also requires 100 energy points with a small chance of failure. The probability of giving birth to a low-level steel beast is small. The probability of giving birth to a mid-level steel beast is extremely small. and the probability of giving birth to a high-level beast is high. Su Ping seriously reads the note, "Do not upgrade and choose to cultivate directly." Although there are many chances the highest is also pointing to the general level, the risk is too high. He reached out and touched the screen -100 energy points, creating a second-level chaotic nourishment spirit pond. Su Ping stood watching. From underground, a small lake with 4 dragons carved in the 4 corners emerged from underground, emitting a blue light. The system reports remaining energy. 115 points, Su Ping thought to himself. Success or failure depends on this moment. He shouted and reached out to touch the virtual screen. At this moment, a blue energy column descended from above. The second level of the chaotic spirit pond has successfully nourished itself. He wondered what astral pet this will be. Appearing before his eyes was a short skeleton. This was Baby Skeleton. The blue screen started to display the text again. Baby Skeleton Level 1, Demon Pet Attribute. Level 1, Battle Power, Poor Aptitude, Skill to Reattach Broken Limbs, Lowest Level Demon Pet. Probably only useless people are forced to carry it. Su Ping looked down at the baby skeleton in front of him, so angry that he spat out a mouthful of saliva. It cost 100 energy to get this. Seeing it laughing, he raised his voice. "I'm not complimenting you." The blue screen appeared again. Complete the nurturing mission and harvest a random astral training skill book. Next to the book icon was the text, Elementary Astral Skill. The killing intent consumed a certain amount of spiritual power, evoking the pet's killing intent to enter a berserk state, allowing the pet to maintain a fierce attack even if it was seriously injured. Su Bin was silent. His eyes were deep in thought. In high-level cultivation, strong people are like clouds. I'm afraid that even with many basic attributes, it's hard to escape the fate of being instantly killed by killing intent. It's just right to fight, taking the small and big, so it's not too much of a loss. The system appeared in front of him and displayed a message. The host has met the conditions to launch new main quest. Please cultivate one of your own pets to intermediate level. Superior quest reward is Chaos. Star Force. Within 7 days, mission failure will deduct 10 points. Seeing that line of words, Su Ping broke out in a cold sweat. He frowned. Intermediate level superior aptitude. Second level, lightning elemental pet attribute. Third level intermediate combat power. Intermediate level, low aptitude. Intermittent lightning skill, afterimage, lightning super strike. Lightning rat ruler calculation is so evil that only intermediate level low aptitude can be reached. And the little skeleton's aptitude is so bad that it is not even as good as the low level one. Su Bin thought about the mission he had just received and forced a smile. The difficulty gap between the missions is so great that I want to turn myself into a useless treasure. Then he saw the little skeleton happily joking around. You're too optimistic, aren't you? Suddenly, a female voice came from the door. Boss Su Ping turned his head to look at the direction the female voice came from. A guest. The voice sounds familiar. From the main door came 2 beautiful girls. The one on the left looked familiar. She called out, "Is the boss here? Boss?" The one on the right looked around the store and opened his mouth to evaluate. In this corner, they even opened a pet shop. Seeing the familiar face, Su Ping immediately remembered the girl who transferred 108 yuan to him to bring her Thunder Mouse home. He narrowed his eyes. "Why is it you 108 yuan? I have something to do." The red-haired girl approached him and said, "My name is Su Yanying, not 108 yuan. Also, boss, Thunder Mouse's behavior yesterday was different from before. Did you do something to him?" Remembering the day before Su Ping had brought the Thunder Mouse into battle and revived it 7,049 times, he thought to himself, could it be that there's a problem with the astral pet? He said to Su Yanying, "I didn't do anything." Just the image of giant beasts lying around appeared in Su Ping's mind. He said guiltily, "Just going for a walk." Then he smiled at the Thunder Mouse who was standing there in fear. "Right, Thunder Mouse." Su Ying looked at him and the astral pet, who were trembling and cowering, thinking to herself, "A little movement is also an admission that you have trained the lightning rat. But the lightning rat is not afraid of even a level 4 demonic dragon dog. Yet it trembles in front of its boss." Su Bin smiled slyly, causing Thundermouse to turn pale. "If you have free time, then do some activity." The scene appeared in Su Yendin's mind, and doubts arose in her mind about him. Could it be that his strength is already level 5? Thinking of this, she dismissed her previous opinion. Her eyes widened. No, this pressure might be level 6 or higher. At this moment, her friend leaned over and whispered, Ying doesn't see anything special about this boss. The store is also small and lacking in people. You probably didn't go to the wrong place, right? Hearing her friend's words, Su Ying raised her hand to signal the other person to be quiet. She whispered, "It's not convenient to explain now. In short, this boss is most likely a level 7 expert. If we anger him, our lives will be in danger." The girl's friend seemed to be in disbelief and asked, "How did you see that?" At this time, Tabin had just become a level 1 battle pet master. He pondered. The system didn't announce a temporary mission, so it probably has nothing to do with the pet. Then he turned to ask the two girls, "What do you also think my fee was too high?" Su Ying's eyes widened as if she had just seen something extremely terrifying. Hearing Su Ping say that the scene in Su Ying's mind was, "What do you also think my fee was too high?" Su Ying looked at Su Ping and thought about how the 108 yuan she gave him the other day was not worthy of his efforts in training her astral pet. She thought to herself, "Charge right. How could a thunder mouse that was trained so well be worth only 108 yuan? The boss must be testing my sincerity." Thinking so, Su Ying said, "Boss, this is my little token of appreciation. I hope you will accept it." The watch she was wearing on her wrist showed a frame with the words, "Xiao Tao Chi, store 1,000 yuan transfer." Confirmed, just press the confirm button, and the watch rang again. Transfer failed. The other party refused the transfer. Yan Wing was startled and looked at the screen with disbelief. What happened? Su Ping looked down at the watch on his hand, his eyes flashing coldly. "What are you joking about?" Su Ying didn't know what he meant and thought to herself, "Isn't it too little?" Thinking so, she pressed the watch on her hand again. "So what about this?" The screen displayed again. 5,000 yuan transferred to Xiao Tao Chi store. Seeing the transfer notification, Su Ping's face became even darker. He clicked his tongue, looking annoyed at what Yan Ying was doing. Yan Ying's watch continued to notify that the transfer had failed and the other party had refused to transfer. Yan Ying seemed to not know what Su Ping was thinking. Her face became panicked. Still not enough. Yan Ying's friend saw her actions and asked, "What are you doing continuously transferring money?" Hearing that, Yan Ying's eyes filled with tears as she looked at her friend and said, "Yue Ying, help me. This is very important to me." Her friend sighed and pressed the transfer button to Yan Ying. I know I really can't do anything about you." Yan Wing looked back at him. This is a rare opportunity to get to know a big boss. Thinking, she pressed the watch again. This time it announced that she had transferred 10,000 yuan to Xiao Tao Chi store. The familiar voice of the device rang out again. Transfer failed. The other party refused the transfer. What? Anger flared up around Su Ping. Yan Ying really couldn't guess what he was thinking. She thought the boss's expression is getting more and more unhappy. Seeing that, Tu Yendin became even more excited. She decided to transfer a large sum of money to Su Ping. I don't believe it. The machine's notification sound was very clear, transferring 100,000 yuan to Xiao Tao Chi store, seeing the large amount of money. Tabin's face suddenly brightened. He immediately wanted to press the button to receive the transfer, $100,000. The rich lady is right next to me. Hurry up and let me receive it. Before he received the money, he saw a system notification. The host is prohibited from receiving money outside the limit in the name of the service store. The store's price cannot be modified. The transfer has been automatically rejected. X4. Seeing this notification, Su Ping was so angry that he spat out a mouthful of blood. Yan Ying's eyes were filled with tears and her voice was trembling. Still not enough. The watch kept notifying that the transfer had failed. The other party refused to transfer the money. Yan Ying said to Su Ping, "We are blind. Please make an offer." Hearing that, Su Ping coughed a few times and then said, "If you don't have anything to say, just say it." Remembering the system's previous announcement, he thought to himself that if he continued, the system would annoy him to death. Hearing Su Ping say this, Yan Ying opened her eyes wide, feeling moved, and covered her mouth with her hand. But he doesn't want anything. In this world, there are still people who are young, powerful, and don't care about fame and fortune, and are right next to me. At this time, Tu Yen Din pointed at her pet and said to him, "I don't dare to hide it. I want to participate in the competition in a few days. But my other pets are all seriously injured. I pin my last hope on Thundermouse. I hope you can nurture it for another 3 days." Hearing this as if he had just thought of something interesting, Su Ping's face became radiant. Thundermouse is back. He thought to himself that this time leveling up the baby skeleton would be easier. Suddenly, the system screen appeared along with a series of different text boxes, checked customer needs, early pet training, primary service, pet training, host based on the service price of training, accepting orders for level 1 to 3 pets training fee of 10,000, level 4 to 6, pets training fee of 100,000, level 7 to 9 pets, training fee of 1 million, king pet training fee of 10 million. Seeing that Su Ping was also a bit surprised. Training makes so much money, he thought, but for now I can only accept orders of level 3 or below. Su Ping looked at Su Yan Ying and asked, "Need to train a pet. The shop charges 10,000 for 3 days of training," hearing the large sum of money. Yan Ying hesitated a bit. 10,000 isn't cheap, but if it can train the Thundermouse like before, it's worth it. Thinking back, the girl smiled brightly and thought to herself, "No, that's not right. With this level of training, I'll take advantage of the big profit." Without hesitation, the girl boldly said to Su Ping, "No problem. Deal." Seeing the great benefits of sending pets to Su Ping's store for training, Yen Din was happy. This is truly a conscientious store. I didn't know about it before. Missing so many training opportunities is really a waste. The system now announced account check 10,000 yuan has been converted to 100 energy points. Current energy points 115. It seemed that Su Ping saw a potential customer inviting Su Yan Ying to his store's services. Apart from nurturing, do you need any other services? The store's foster care service can also conveniently treat some injuries. Hearing that, Yan Ying's eyes immediately lit up. Sending a pet can still be treated. Going to the pet hospital is both far and more expensive than sending it for adoption. She said to him, "Boss, I want to send it for adoption." Hearing that, Su Ping said to Yan Ying, "Then please summon the pet you want to raise." Yan Ying excitedly summoned her pet boss. "It's these 3, seeing the 3 giant pet beasts." Su Ping secretly sighed. "It's too crowded." Suddenly, the system displayed a message checked and found a customer requesting to be fostered. To prevent damage to the store's reputation, the host is requested to quickly upgrade your fostering slot. Seeing the notification, Su Ping felt a little helpless. "What do you mean by affecting reputation?" The system explained why the fostering slot had to be upgraded. The original free fostering slot was made from scrap spirit stones. The remaining one inside was very weak and contained complex and disordered waste radiation. Although it contributed a small part to the astral pet's growth, it had a high probability of causing the astral pet to mutate. He frowned and gritted his teeth. "I knew it." Then upgrade. Buy 3 fostering slots. After hearing the command from Su Ping, the system screen showed again. Purchase successful minus 50 energy points. Number of slots, 5 or 9 hourly deposit fee. 100 yuan, level 2. Deposit slots will not mutate, but each slot costs 1 energy point per day. The host pays for it himself. If the energy points cannot be maintained, the deposit slot will disappear. Please buy carefully. Seeing this notice, Su Ping spat out a mouthful of blood because he was so angry. Su Yanying worriedly asked him, "Boss, what's wrong?" Su Ping's face darkened as he wiped his mouth and said harshly, "It's okay. I'll keep you for 3 days and charge 21,600. Transfer the money first." Su Yanying saw his face was so scared that she broke out in a cold sweat. She quickly transferred the money to him. Okay. Then she thought to herself, what a scary expression. The friend next to her saw this and exclaimed, "This boss is really weird." The system's voice rang out again. Account check 21. 600 have been converted to energy points. Remaining points are 291. Su Ping looked at the screen in front of him, which was the system's request for him. Host initiates a branch mission to complete the first pet training order. The mission requirements of the store must be of the finest quality. Host needs to train the customer's pet's battle strength to double or more than the original. The mission reward is 3 parts of the primary elemental power pill. The duration is 3 days. If the mission fails, 10 points will be deducted. May I ask if you accept it? Su Ping pondered for a moment. To train a baby skeleton's aptitude to the intermediate level, it can only be done when its battle strength reaches level 7 at level 1. Compared to that, wanting to train a thunder mouse from level 2 to level 7 is easy R.